Karma Kounde. Karma Kounde. Yes, you guys, welcome back. As you can see by my ridiculously gassed celebration, we have beaten Barcelona into the race to sign Mr. Julius Kounde. So I hope you guys are definitely gassed and happy. And for the final video, it's time to talk Thomas Tuchel and Timo Werner. So I hope you guys are very happy with the news today. Please smash that like button. Let's get over 4K likes today. And I want to let you guys know, I'm collabing with Bavs of Arsenal to bring you a preview, of course, for our Florida Cup final against them in Sunday morning. So I hope you guys are ready, and without wasting any more time, like finally after 24 months, after basically 2 seasons, we finally get our man. Karma Kounde, my friends, we have to be ringing that out. And today was the day that we beat Barcelona into the race to sign Jules Kounde. Now, yesterday's video is basically redundant, and can you guys really blame me? I'm putting my hands up right now. Can you blame me? It's not the first time we've been rejected throughout this window. It's not the first time that Barcelona have just ruined our plans in the window as well too. But I guess I shouldn't have been so emotional, as we had a lot of things in our favour that gave us a real advantage over Barcelona, and I'll discuss some of them as this video goes on. Now it's Karma Kounde for us, and it's Vamos Kounde for Barcelona. As we know that Barca had planned to persuade the player, similar to Rafinha, to delay his decision to signing for us. They were hoping with more time. Now that they finally activated more economic levers, essentially selling more media club rights to the tune of 10 to 15%, they just needed some more time now to get the money in and make a new bid and offer to try and sign him. But I guess ultimately the thing that was working in our favour is the fact that Sevilla want to reinvest in their team right now. We finally found structures that met their terms they wanted, of course, to get more money up front as well too, and the massive advantage being that we had already agreed contract terms with Kounde. Our offer was way better than Barcelona's. It was a much stronger financial offer, and we can discuss some of those details right now. Of course, Kounde signs on a 5-year deal, taking his contract to 2027. That contract is worth £125,000 a week, which I think is very fair and is way below some of the crazy rumours coming out suggesting that Kounde was going to be earning around 10 million net per season, which makes no sense. Maybe one day when he becomes one of the best defenders in the world, when he's like 28, 27, he'll get one of those big boy contracts. Now, I need to give a special shout out to Twitter account Harry Saratov, who, he does have his links and he has provided them many a time over the years, and today he released some incredible context behind what was happening with Kounde's agents in the club and the things that of course eventually led us to signing him in the end. And we know that Jorge Mendes was acting as an intermediary to help get this deal wrapped up and sped up and get it over the line. But it did seem like him and Jonathan Kebe, the agent of Kounde, tried to do their bit to get as much money from this deal as humanly possible. They were the ones to tell Kounde to go to Portugal by suggesting that they were worried that he wouldn't get as much minutes for next season, considering the abundance of defenders we currently have. Now, naturally, that really annoyed us, as we already had agreements, of course, for game time, his contract, and of course, we really want the player to come for next season. So we demanded that Kounde got the assurances he needed, of course, and told them guys to get this deal over the line. So I guess that was essentially it. But another reality is the fact that Barcelona made no official offers or bids. They've only just now activated their second levers, and it made more sense for us to act with haste and get this deal over the line as soon as possible. Because for me, let's say it's a different context. Barcelona's levers were activated a lot earlier. If they come in with money, who knows what could have happened. Now, with this Kounde deal essentially being wrapped up, the final things needed right now is for Sevilla to receive the official, legal documentations that literally just completes this entire transfer. It means that Azpilicueta can now complete his move to Barcelona. On one hand, he will be missed. He's been such a solid player for us for nearly over a decade. Right now, he is Tuchel's leader and captain in their team. So I guess on Tuchel's part, he'll be a bit disappointed that he's going to miss out on that vocal presence in the team and a guy that he turns to and relies upon. But on the other hand, personally, I'm happy that he's still playing at the highest level. I'm happy that he's earning a big boy contract playing for Barcelona as well too. And I guess the moment that we didn't see him play against Charlotte FC, it was essentially down to the fact that he's not going to potentially injure himself in a preseason friendly, when he knew that he was very close to completing that move to Barcelona. So good luck to Azpilicueta. He's very close to moving there now that Barca have missed out on Kounde. And now we'll get the official announcement of Kounde from next week, and I'm expecting him to take part in our next preseason friendly against Udinese in their stadium, of course, in Italy. It doesn't make any sense for him to fly back out to the States. We play against Arsenal very soon. I'd be incredibly surprised if that happens. And it's exciting to know that Kounde can be, literally ending his career with us. And I like to think that he does, because for me, I really wanted this guy to come. I think after speaking about Kounde for like over a year and a half, 2 years currently, I've learned so much about him. I've watched so many games. I see what he does. And for me, the only disappointing thing is that, why is it taking so long to wrap this deal up? If I was to be really annoying as I can be sometimes, you guys, I'm hungry right now, just allow me. But I wish we got this deal wrapped up last month, so at least he's taking part in preseason, so I can see some of that link up on the right hand side with him and Reece James. Of course, for me, I think Reece and Kounde can be the strongest right hand side in the Premier League. I'm envisioning some of the overlapping runs. I'm envisioning some of the rotations as well too, with times where you'll find Reece James in the inner channels putting crosses in the box as Kounde is making overlapping runs out wide, and vice versa as well too, where you're going to see Kounde carrying that ball through those inner channels, freeing up space for Reece James putting across from the outside. So, well, I think on paper and theoretically, this could be an incredible combination, an incredible duo. And I guess ultimately, to really take things to the next level, it would have been nice if we signed a left-footed right wing in the team, but we still have strong options to take advantage of that dynamic duo we'll see for next season. For me, it's kind of ridiculous that it took us that long and that we had to go through so many other defensive targets before going back to the main target that for me is a lot better than some of the other guys we have been looking at. So I guess, where does this leave our summer business now? We've got 3 signings: Kounde, Raheem Sterling, and Koulibaly. It does seem like the next targets are going to be to sign another defender for the left-hand side, and 2 names coming up, of course, are Kimpembe and Gvardiol. Now, reports from L'Equipe, as I mentioned before in a previous video, have suggested that maybe Kimpembe prefers to stay, and it does seem like if we want to sign the player, we'll have to persuade Paris Saint-Germain to release him because they're receiving an incredible offer. So now it's time to talk with our wallets, and of course, in the case of Gvardiol, his team have said consistently that they want to remain at Leipzig because they feel like another season in the Bundesliga, another season lining, puts their client and their player up in a better position in the future, knowing that eventually, let's say in the next season, there'll be even more offers coming from other teams across Europe. So if we wanted to get Gvardiol, now would be the perfect time. We'd have to spend a lot of money because Leipzig don't want to sell, but some reports are suggesting that bids between 50 mil to 80 million could be enough to persuade Leipzig to sell him towards us. So if that was the case, even though I think Gvardiol is a top player, let's not get things twisted. He's a top player. He's had an incredible reputation since he was a teenager doing his thing back in Croatia. So there's a reason why some of these guys always get the hypey guys, because they've been known by many big clubs for a very long time. But I guess naturally I'd have to question whether that's going to help Levi Colwill remain here and have the confidence to stay, because if you're signing a counterpart around the same age as you in a similar position to the one you want to play in, then for me you're very similar abilities and qualities, because even though Gvardiol has had a massive rep, Colwill has had that same rep in this country for a very long time. When we signed this guy from Southampton when he was like 14, he was already seen as one of the best players in the country for his age. So it would be interesting, but I hope that with pre-season going on, he will remain. And reports have suggested that Tuchel has persuaded the player to not make any hasty decisions right now. But the cynical part of me, if I'm going to be cynical for a quick second, is feeling that, okay, if I'm Tuchel, I'd want him to stay if I know that my other defensive options won't be signing. So I hope that's not the case, because I just think that he really is that good and would really benefit right now. And of course, to end things with the final target we're looking at, that seems to be another attacking player. Now, we don't know if that's going to be a striker. It depends if Timo Werner was to leave, for example, or if that's going to be someone that can play on the right hand side that can also act as a wing back option as well in this team. For me, if I could decide what we do with our money, I'm saying forget signing another centre back. Let's spend that money on Rafael Leao. I feel like this team needs a superstar option. I look at all the big teams, all our contemporaries across us, from your Barcas, your Madrids, Liverpool, C's. They all have that big boy superstar, and I think that we need one. And I think Leao could be an incredible option alongside Raheem Sterling, Havertz up front, with that midfield, of course, of like a Mount, Kante, Kovacic, etc. that could be an elite team, and I feel like we have literally all the requirements now to make that happen. So you guys, that is the Kounde story, and that is the story surrounding other targets out of the way. I hope you guys enjoyed. Share your thoughts and opinions behind Jules Kounde. Are you excited that we got this deal done? And be honest with this one. Also let us know if you were like forever confident that we were going to get this deal over the line and get him signed. So right now, we end things with the final report, and let's discuss Thomas Tuchel and Timo Werner. We start off by discussing the tweet released by German reporter Florian Plettenberg, and here's what he said. Tuchel is not the biggest fan of Timo. The coach's recent statements clearly show that, and have also arrived at the player. Werner deals with a possible departure in summer. However, a final decision will take time. Tendency, he will leave, and that is Plettenberg's opinion. Now, this tweet follows on from some recent reports that came out as quotes from Werner as well as Thomas Tuchel were released. And let's start off by understanding what Timo said to cause Tuchel's reaction. As Werner said when questioned about his future, first of all, the most important thing is that I'm happy. I'm happy when I play and score goals. That's the facts. That's what I should take care of, and the other things will come. I could be happy everywhere. I think, of course, the manager always has different ideas, different thoughts, and what you need in different games. I think in many games I was not in his thoughts, so I tried to change that. It's clear that I want to play more, and I should play more to first be in good shape for the World Cup, and also to have a chance to play at the World Cup. I think it doesn't change anything whether it's in the Winter World Cup or in the summer, etc, 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 but that is Werner saying, this season matters because I must represent my national team, and you know that this is an ambition shared by many professionals right now. But this is what Tuchel had to say in response to these comments. As Tuchel said, he was surprised to hear Werner's comments. I'm surprised. I would be very happy as a young guy having a contract at Chelsea Football Club. I would be one of the happiest people on the planet. He needs to get his game time. He has to show quality. Take your place and defend your place. I would be one of the happiest people on the planet to have a contract with Chelsea. If he said this, I do not understand. Oh, things looking quite tasty right now, but it does go back to something that I've reiterated many a time for over a year now. That's when I was first told that Thomas Tuchel actually isn't the biggest fan of Werner. And I heard this at the end of the previous season when we won the Champions League. So that makes a lot of sense and adds new context to things. On one hand, I completely understand what Tuchel's saying. He never signed the guy. And with all the opportunities that Werner has got from Tuchel, which has been a ton and a lot, I feel like he just doesn't work. I feel like the finishing has been the most important thing that has cost us many a time and let us down. And ultimately at times as well, he's quite limited in terms of what he does in the final third. But on the other hand, Werner signed for us before Tuchel was a manager. There was a clear plan for him here, hence why he rejected interest from Liverpool, hence why he turned down Bayern Munich as well too. And with the World Cup coming up, he doesn't want to miss his spot representing his nation and of course building to his legacy. That's what these guys do it here for. And on one hand, I could understand that maybe because Tuchel has his own tactical ideas, I don't think they necessarily complement Werner. I think that Tuchel did the very best he could do when we won the Champions League by utilising that pace and behind. But that isn't a long-term strategy that's going to be very effective, hence why Lukaku was signed immediately. Now, could there have been times where maybe Werner and Lukaku should have played up front together? When they did, they normally scored goals, either one of them, so we didn't see enough of that. So it's one of those situations where I can understand things from both manager's perspective and Werner's perspective too. It's giving me Lukaku vibes, but of course a lot less controversial naturally. But again, it follows the same type of energy in the sense that they just don't complement each other. And I think that if Tuchel allows Werner to go, that's going to be because he's confident that he'll get a replacement for him first. Tuchel's comments, of course, you know, let's be realistic. He's a manager. He's not going to be speaking mad to the press. He's going to be very diplomatic. And I think that's been one thing that Tuchel has always shown since he's been our manager. And it will always remain like that. And I understand and I get it. And that's professional. And that's what we want to see in our manager. But Werner leaving is very interesting. Not many reports of interest in him at this point in time. But you'd imagine that as the window is closing down, options could open up. And if they do, I would personally sell him, to be fair, and reinvest that money into other areas. Can we do something mad like Werner, Ziyech for Leao? Hey, maybe I'm playing too much FIFA recently, you guys. I don't know. But regardless, share your thoughts and opinions on the stories today. That is it, my friends. I'm gone. I'm out of here. It's time to eat and it's time to enjoy my weekend. So on that note, I hope you guys have a great weekend too. I'm in the FC. This is Blue Lions TV. I'll catch you guys later. Cool.